Greetings, blade lovers. So would you say Mr. Wong has taken over TwoSun? How many new designs can this guy come up with? And I think he's a student of Persian history because he keeps coming out with these upswept trailing point blades. This is an amazing little critter. At first it looks kind of gimmicky, but when you have it in hand, it is a very interesting blade indeed. And instead of D2, we've got 14C28N on this baby. And this is the TS288. There you can see Wong design. Dexian Wong. Best I can do on Mr. Wong's full name, or Wong Dexian, because the Chinese often change the position of the surname. Look at this. It appears to be small at first, but 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers easily with a little left over, jimping, and a go forward full finger choil for detail work. But it's kind of hard getting that point for detail work. You have to really tip it like that. So the usefulness for as a working tip for these upswept blades is kind of questionable. However, as kind of a neat little defense / utility blade, look at this, how perfectly it is designed to cap your thumb over that arch of a pommel and have a point down edge out, jabby stabby kind of a knife, hooking sort of a blade. So that's interesting. So either hand position, point up or point down, seems to work pretty well. Look at the scallops on the top, almost look like finger grooves. This has been done before on earlier TwoSuns. I forget the model, but these waves, not sure they serve a real feature other than to kind of give you a little more grip into your palm when you're holding it this way or this way. But either way, those face into the palm and don't really serve as finger grooves unless you decide to go this way, which isn't the most comfortable position for this. We have an inlay of what looks like carbon fiber that is textured. Let's see if I can get you a better view of that. There you go. You see those little mill lines in there? But that does appear to be carbon fiber. You can hear it. Very hard. And again, a Sandvik blade for a change. There's been a big run of D2s coming out of TwoSun. Maybe they'll be getting back to more of the 14C blades. It is a front flipper with this dished out large flipper. You can, because of the way that's designed, you can actually roll it out. It's got a very kind of sticky detent. That ball, that detent ball, is really exactly fitted to the detent on the blade. So you can get it going, but you're going to notice, and I loosened the pivot just a little and it's not wiggly or anything. So I'm going to leave it there. You can see it's, you really would have to feel it, but it's solid, no movement whatsoever in any direction. That's pretty common on most knives. Look at the size of the lanyard hole on this thing. You could put like a clothesline through that. I like the the design here. That looks like kind of an odd eagle head or some other raptor, osprey or falcon. It's all titanium, stone washed. With a mildly stone-washed blade that looks like maybe it was satin finished first and then polished. I don't know. Time for measurements, and then we're going to show you some comparisons with other Wong Designs in the Persian influence. This has such an upturned blade, I don't know if I can get a straight line back to the pommel. Coming in at 7 3/4 overall, with a blade of 3 1/4 to that point on the handle, and 3 1/8 cutting edge. We're set for inches, so let's try the handle first. 0.61, fairly fat handle for a small knife, but because it's carved in so narrow here, you almost need that to get a better grip on it. If I go over to the blade, it's not particularly thick. Let's see. Yeah, because we got a swedge here, what I'm going to do is, to get you the actual blade stock, we're going to get the tang of the blade here. So, we have 0.14, transposing numbers again. And let's see what it is in millimeters. I'll call it 3.5 millimeters, 3.5, 3.6. Does that make a difference? Not a lot to you, I would imagine. All right, we're going to weigh it up. Are you ready for me? I was doing this the other day too. Okay, thank you. Not a light knife for the size, almost 5 ounces, 4.96. Making it in just under 5 ounces. So it's a solid little knife. The clip is tight. It's getting near deep carry. It's a pretty good slot there. This has some flex, but it's up against some very rough milled carbon fiber. So it acts kind of like sandpaper, if you know what I mean. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to grab a little much, and it might be a candidate for using my bendy technique, which is, again, to slide some paper underneath to protect the knife handle, stick like a thin scraper or putty knife under there that's not too flexible, lift gradually, keep lifting, don't overdo it, and you can get a little bit more space there. That's what I do. Am I going to carry this a lot? I'm probably not. More of a kind of an art novelty knife. One of those TwoSuns that falls into that category. Let's see some other Persian knives designed by Wong. Here's the TS288. Longer, but certainly still you see that upswept Persian influence. It's a good deal longer. It's a full-size knife than this one, as you can see. This one comes through with also 14C28N. And the interesting thing with this is it's a full titanium frame, even though it's got full handle slabs. So it looks like a liner lock, and it is a liner lock, but that frame is all titanium, as is the clip. Clip on this one's titanium as well. Then, not too long ago, I did a review on this one, and I'm checking the blade for the numbers, which they're starting to put on there. That's the 336, also out of Sandvik. And finally, as another example of a Persian influence, we have the TS287. Look at that. And there are others as well. This is just a sampling of Persian influence blades. This is one of my favorites just because it's such an oddball. It's a recurve, hollow ground, Tonto influenced Persian. Kind of a crazy mixture, but he is certainly willing to go out there. I'd say of all of them, the 236 is probably the longest by a hair. And you can see that this new one, the 288, is definitely the shortest. So just for further comparisons, because we love comparisons, And I wish I could compare it to everything on your mind, but yeah, that's why guys like Dirk Werning have gone to using, what do you call it, Sharpies. It's a common object that you know the size of, right? That's the griptilian. So it isn't, it looks like a small knife, but the griptilian is ever so slightly larger, pretty much the same overall length. And that one, of course, is going to be a longer knife by a good distance. See, what happened with this one is that you've got a shorter blade, but it's in a bigger handle. Maybe about a ½ inch longer handle than the blade. Lines up perfectly, as you can see. No danger of snagging your finger on the tip since it's well protected by that pommel of the knife. I'm not a big front flipper fan, but when I see a knife that interests me and I like the rest of the design, I don't mind going in that direction. Again, stiff detent on this, a little bit of breaking in, and it should be fine. But that is the Wong designed TwoSun TS288, newer model from TwoSun Knives. Hope you enjoyed this review. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe. Click that icon in the lower right right now. If you haven't subscribed, then it'll bring you to a place where you can do exactly that. Take care. Be back with you soon.